We got some competition in Latrobe, and we got a question as to who's going to be that left tackle for us. And when it's all said and done, who can make a big difference as far as the improvement of the O-line goes. What is going on, everybody? Good Tuesday morning to you. This is Steel Sermon in the house. As always, do me a favor, like, comment, subscribe, follow on Instagram, link in the box below. So another observation of mine, as I'm going to give more of an opinion on this one, as Broderick Jones is pretty much battling it out and duking it out with Dan Moore Jr. for who's going to win that left tackle spot. And honestly, it's really not that much of an easier decision than you'd think, because you take a look at what these two have been doing at training camp and you look at how their resumes have been stacking up. It has to make you wonder who is going to get that spot when week one comes around, and possibly even this coming week when our first preseason game is underway against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So let's talk about Broderick Jones for a little bit. In my honest opinion, I think Broderick Jones has earned it a little bit more than Dan Moore Jr. has, because we kind of anticipated that Broderick Jones would be more with the second team reps and the second teamers in training camp, but he actually has had some reps with the first teamers, and he is just really out there to show that he wants to win that job and that he's out there to protect his young quarterback in his second season as well, and to show the Steelers that, yeah, you made the right move with trading up with New England to get me a 14, And despite his minimal games that he had in Georgia, he didn't really play a whole lot of games in Georgia, but he did enough to be one of the top prospected O-linemen in the draft, and we were able to snag him away from the Patriots. But the thing here in Latrobe is that we're seeing things out of Broderick Jones that puts him where he really needs to be in order to win that spot, according to Mike Tomlin, as we keep hearing in his press conferences. So he's getting, we're seeing the things from Broderick Jones that we're needing to see. He's getting in the right spots. He is doing pretty well as far as the pass protection goes, and that's a big, big advantage right there, knowing that the Steelers have one of the best defensive lines in the league. And he wasn't getting lost a whole lot as well. And when he did, he was getting pretty good communication with himself and with the other linemen that he was working with. And he was moving well around it as well as he was battling it out in the trenches. He was, like I said, he was blocking well with the pass protection. He was buying time for the quarterback to release the ball. And he was even doing pretty well as far as the run blocking goes. Now, another thing that we really need to see about Broderick Jones is athleticism. That's a big attribute that you need to have when you're an offensive lineman, is how well this guy can maneuver in the battle of the trenches and how he can win in these battles as well, and how he responds when he loses in a rep. Because let's face it, when you're a lineman, you're not going to win every single battle. You're not going to win there are going to be times where you're not going to block well. You're not going to protect well. So you got to be able to respond mentally to that. And Broderick Jones has been doing that on his own. He was able to hold his own. He was able to pull himself together when he lost a rep. And he allowed himself to not get confused as far as the pass rush goes. So that's a really good thing, especially with the run and pass blocking right there as well. He was able to, there were times where he went up against, I think it was Marcus Golden in second teamers, and he stuck with it after losing a couple of series to Marcus Golden, and Golden won the first two matchups with him, while Broderick Jones took the final matchup with him. So Mike Tomlin, how he is with the press conferences. He doesn't try to give all the praise in the world to everybody. He just says what he observes, And he said that Broderick Jones is right where he needs to be, but how is he going to be able to handle against other pass rushers and make that adjustment? Because, like I said, that has a lot to do with how many games he played down in Georgia. So now he's going up against a professional league, and he's going up against one of the best pass rushers in the league. So how is he going to be able to go up against guys, like T.J. Watt? How's he going to be able to go up against like Alex Highsmith when camp continues? And how is he going to be able to go up against, a stout defense in general? So we're going to see more of that as far as training camp goes, and we're going to get a good idea of that as far as the preseason game goes. Now let's talk about Dan Moore Jr. a little bit. Dan Moore, pretty much still the same as he was, so that's whatever. And, he went up against Alex Highsmith in training camp as well, and he lost all 3 times against him. So, to me, that says right there, and, granted, not that Alex Highsmith is a bad player. He's a very good player. Breakout season last year that warranted the extension. So, my thing with this is that if Dan Moore Jr. is to stay here, and if he is to win that left tackle job, he has to show that he has to be significantly better than Broderick Jones. Not even by like a small percent. Not even by like, a small margin. I'm talking about he has to be significantly better than Broderick Jones. Because so far right now, like I said, if you ask me, Broderick Jones has been winning this battle. And he's shown that he can pass protect and block better than Dan Moore has. So, yeah, a little bit of competition. You love to see it because, with a young guy like Broderick Jones, the thing is that he is a very good talent as far as the left tackle spot goes, but also at the same time, you don't want to rush a young guy up to the league like that. You don't want to, put him in right away when he's not like, 100%. When you're not 100% confident what you have in him, and you're just doing it just because you drafted him in the first round. And that pretty much goes the same as far as all the other times where you take a lineman with your first draft pick. So there is going to be competition, and if the Steelers are sure that they're not going to rush Broderick Jones, then this competition has to continue throughout training camp. And I think when we take the field against Tampa Bay later this week, and we announce who's going to be in the starting spot in that left tackle spot to start the game, that's going to give us more of an indication. So those are just my general thoughts on Broderick Jones and Dan Moore Jr. right now as far as the left tackle spot goes. Who do you think is going to win that spot? Let me know what you think down in the comments below. This is Steel Sermon checking on out for the day. Let's go, baby.